Hello and welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us today. I have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. That's why that Q&A button is so important. You can direct your question to a specific school or schools, or you can leave a question for all of our representatives to answer. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions to learn more about other great schools. This presentation and all presentations are being recorded, and they'll be available within about a week at that same website where you register, strivescan.com/WACAC. I'm excited to welcome our schools today, and we will be beginning with Sarah Lawrence College.
Hi, everybody. So excited to talk to you today. I think we're all set with the screen share. My name is Elizabeth Benedict. I'm one of our Senior Assistant Directors of Admission in the office at Sarah Lawrence, and I'm really excited that you're choosing to spend part of your Sunday morning or afternoon, wherever you're joining us from, to learn about such a diverse set of colleges and universities. Sarah Lawrence is a private residential liberal arts and sciences college. We are definitely on the smaller side of colleges. We have 1,400 undergraduate students and about 300 graduate students. So that means for undergraduates, typically around 400 students, 425, depending on the grade. So in a classroom setting, that means that our average faculty to student ratio is 1:9. So our classes are very, very small. We can get into that in a second. But as far as where we are located, the Google Maps screenshot shows you a little bit. We are right outside of Manhattan. So we are a 30-minute train ride right into New York City to Grand Central. Bronxville is a small town that has a lot of different cute shops and restaurants. People say it kind of seems like Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls with a little bit more going on. And then on the other side of campus is Yonkers, which is the 4th largest city in New York. So you kind of have, we like to say, the best of both worlds. You have a residential campus where most students live on campus, which is very green, but with close access to New York City. The picture on the right side of the screen is actually, overview of campus, and then you can see the New York City skyline. So it's very, very accessible, but we definitely have a lot of students on campus who are looking for that residential experience with access to a major city. As far as where our students come from, they really come from all over. I don't need to actually read you the bullet as far as where our students come from, but I will say the 2 largest states that we have students from, California and New York. So really excited to be here, presenting for WACAC. Definitely so many ways to be involved on campus for whatever you are interested in. I would say some of my favorite clubs that we have, or favorite clubs from our students. One is called the B-List, which students just get together and watch B-List films. That's a great club. There's Kindness SLC Club. There's a Sustainability Club. A lot of clubs that revolve around activism, social justice work. So lots of things to get involved in on and off campus, whether that's in Bronxville, Yonkers, or Manhattan, if you want to do an internship, for example. So our students, definitely a lot of them live on campus. Almost 85% of students live on campus, and housing is guaranteed. At Sarah Lawrence, it is, there are so many different types of housing options, whether it's a converted house, or whether it's the top floor of the picture on the bottom, Westlands, which is our administrative building with admissions, and then on the top floor, a dorm. So definitely a ton of different housing options on campus, whether that's a themed co-op, traditional dorms, or an apartment building. Lots of options. One of the key pieces of academics at Sarah Lawrence is that you get to create your own program of study. So what that means is that you really get to personalize your academics to directly what you're interested in. So we do have pre-professional programs like pre-education, pre-health, pre-journalism, pre-law, but within those, if you want to follow one of those tracks, you absolutely can. If you're not interested in following those tracks, you don't have to. So you really get to kind of personalize it no matter what your interests may be. We also do have an open curriculum. So on top of that, you really have a lot of ownership over your education at Sarah Lawrence. That's one of the main pieces that I want you to walk away from. If you don't remember anything else about Sarah Lawrence, I want you to kind of have that thought that a Sarah Lawrence education is one where you have complete ownership over the direction of your study. So just some pictures to kind of give you a sense of what classes look like. 90% of classes, 90, are seminar classes, discussion-based courses that are roundtables. Literally, sometimes they're rectangular, but the professor is sitting down discussing with students. And that is what a lot of our classes look like at Sarah Lawrence. So average is about 8 to 10 students in a class. They are all capped at 15 students. So definitely something that, whether it's outside like this, you have really close proximity to faculty and mentorship, which is really important to us. We also do have a lot of campus traditions, which I know we're going to get into at the end, but this is one of our Fall Fest, which is definitely one of my favorite Sarah Lawrence traditions, and it's just a great way for students to get together. One of the things that we also really, really like is our internship fair, which is what this picture is showing, but because of our proximity to Manhattan, typically around 70% of students will do at least one internship, if not more, before graduating from Sarah Lawrence. The only thing I was going to say, I know I don't have much time left, but to apply to Sarah Lawrence, we definitely want you to represent yourself however you see fit. So we really trust students through that process. So we do accept the common application. And then in addition to the common application, if you want to submit test scores or not, you can. We're test optional. We've been test optional for a long time. There's no fee to apply to Sarah Lawrence. Interviews are optional. We have an optional writing supplement you could submit, as well as an optional creative and performing arts supplement. So all of those things, you really get to kind of tell us who you are, and you can scan this QR code if you want to get more information about Sarah Lawrence in the future.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing Sarah Lawrence with us today. Our next presentation will be from Hofstra University.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I'm actually sitting in our Hofstra University admission office right now. We just finished our in-person Sunday tours. So what better way than to see our office actually through our Zoom today. So welcome. My name is Christine Niemeyer. I'm one of the assistant deans of admission at Hofstra. I do work with all students from Northern California, as well as Pennsylvania and Western New York. And I'm so excited to tell you more about our campus today. So overall, Hofstra is considered a mid-sized school. We are roughly about 6,500 students in total for the undergraduate population. So definitely a really nice sized campus. Of course, we're not too big, but we're not too small. So you have plenty of time to make new friends throughout all 4 years, but we are a close enough community that you will see tons of the same people as you're passing by campus, make your close-knit group of friends, which is really nice. We do have an average class size of 21 and a student to faculty ratio of 13:1. So we encourage a lot of personal interaction in the classroom. Your professor will absolutely know your name and get to know you and make sure you're successful in the classroom. We do also encourage a lot of hands-on learning and a lot of discussion-based learning as well. So you will not always sit in a classroom of about 200 people in a lecture hall. You will never have a class that large, and you will really be encouraged to kind of talk with your peers and brainstorm and come up with different activities while you are going through your classes. So it's a really well-rounded experience. We do offer about 165 undergraduate program options. Really great thing with Hofstra, if you apply to Hofstra and you are accepted into all of our regular undergraduate programs. So there is no pressure about applying with a particular major or coming in as undecided. That is totally fine. And you can pick and choose your options or double major or also have a minor alongside of your major. So our students love to combine different areas and get the best of their experience and make them more marketable when they graduate. We do also have students represented from 48 of the US states and 78 different countries. So we have students from all over the US as well as internationally to get to know people from other walks of life. Most of our students do, of course, complete an internship, which is a great experience for all of our students. So 71% of students complete at least one internship. Any major that you are in, we definitely encourage doing an internship, and you can see that we work with a lot of major companies on campus as well. We do have a typical college campus experience and also have a great close proximity to New York City. So we are only a 40-minute train ride away from the city, and our students love to have that experience where you can walk on those quads that you see in that picture there, have class outside, have lunch outside, get together with your friends, but then go into the city on the weekend or go into the city for an internship and really get that New York City experience as well. And many of our students often will stay here when they come from the West Coast. When they find that job offer, they will love to stay in New York City and really spend the rest of their time here, which is awesome. So one other thing about being a Hofstra student is being very well-rounded on our campus and getting involved. We have over 220 clubs and organizations that you can join, anything between academic organizations, community service groups, fraternities and sororities. We have a cappella groups, we have dance groups, we have a coloring club on campus for all of those that want to de-stress on campus. It's a great organization, but anything that you want to join, I highly recommend getting involved. And if we don't have a club on campus that you're interested in, you can always create it as well. Our student leaders are also very big on community service. So we spend about 100,000 hours each year giving back to the community, as well as going to food pantries, local schools in the area. So we have a lot of opportunity for you to be able to give back. Hofstra is also a Division I school for athletics. So we have 21 NCAA Division I sports teams. As you can see, basketball is really big on our campus, and it's a big part of our spirit support here. We do also guarantee 4 years of on-campus housing, so you never have to worry about losing your spot on campus from year to year. You are welcome to commute and then move on campus, or live on campus and then move off campus into a house with your friends, whatever you choose to do, but you never have to worry about losing your spot. Of course, when it comes time to applications, this is some information for you to have. We have early action at Hofstra, so you can see we have 2 deadlines there for that. It is non-binding, so if you apply to Hofstra through early action, you are not locked in. If you are accepted, you can still weigh out your options. Of course, make a campus visit, and then ultimately make your decision by May 1st. Of course, we are also a test optional school, but you could see we do have some recommended ranges for SAT and ACT. If you are able to take the exam and you fall in or above those ranges, we highly recommend to submit your scores for consideration, but definitely don't feel pressure if you took the exam and you didn't do as well as you hoped, or you haven't had the ability to take either the SAT or the ACT. You can absolutely apply as test optional. We do also automatically consider all students for Merit Scholarship when you submit your application to Hofstra, and we do go out with our highest scholarship offer right off the bat. So 95% of our students are getting some type of scholarship to come to Hofstra, so we do as much as we can for you to get a discount on your tuition, as well as financial aid. So every little bit helps, and we will work with you every step of the way on that. And this is my contact information. If you did have any questions, like I said, I am the counselor for all of Northern California. So anything that you might need, we also have a counselor in our office for the southern half of California. So we can definitely work with you for any questions that you have, as well as your application when that time comes and making your decision. But thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Thank you so much, Christy, for presenting on Hofstra. So we've heard from 2 schools and we have 3 more to come today. So just wanted to remind our attendees that this is a great time to ask questions in the Q&A for the schools that are presented or the schools that are upcoming. And as you can see on the screen, our next school is going to be Marist College, correct?
Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. Good afternoon, everyone, and keeping it in New York, like Hofstra is in New York, as well as Sarah Lawrence. My name is Corinne Schell, and I am Director of West Coast Admission at Marist College. I'm actually a Marist graduate. My husband's son, daughter, sister, niece, nephew, and twin nieces. So needless to say, I'm a little bit passionate about Marist and all that it actually has to offer our students. We are about an hour and a half north of New York City. We are in a suburban environment. We're about 8 miles across town from Vassar College. We're about a mile down the road from the Culinary Institute of America. West Point is about an hour south. Bard College is about a half-hour north. There's a community college in town, and then there's a state university about a half-hour west of us. So needless to say, in a very close proximity, there's quite a few colleges and universities. This is a picture of our campus taken from the Hudson River. I call it the Academic Country Club. It's an absolutely beautiful campus with very strong academics and a wonderful opportunity for students in every type of social situation. This here is our student center where a lot of activity does take place. We have our Barnes & Noble's bookstore located in here, our theater, our Harry Potter style dining hall, which actually has a sushi bar. We have college activities, housing and residential life, the admissions office, health services is located here. And then we also have 2 of our freshman residence halls attached to this building. And I do find that the students from the West love the fact that in these particular housing options for our freshmen, they don't have to leave the building to get to the dining hall. However, you do have to leave the building to get to class. And there are several different residence halls for freshmen, as well as for upper class students. Oops. Okay. And then here's some information about Marist. We are considered a smaller size school with a little over 5,100 undergraduate students. We offer over 40 different majors for our students, and probably one of the most popular majors for an incoming freshman is undecided. And that's okay not to know exactly what it is that you'd like to pursue, as you have up until the end of your second semester of sophomore year. So you can really take advantage of all the different types of courses that are offered to Marist. We also have several 5-year programs at Marist where students at the undergraduate level within a period of 5 years can get their bachelor's and their master's. And then we do have representation from 47 different states and 64 different countries that are part of that 5,100 student population. Our student to teacher ratio is 16:1. We do not have lecture halls, no teaching assistants. All of our classes are taught by faculty. The largest class you will ever have is 35. And then once you get more into your particular field of study, that's when you'll have anywhere from 5, 10, 15, 20 students in a class. Very constructive conversation takes place. Faculty teach very visually, so that they really do engage the students in the classes. 98% of our students, when they graduate within 6 months, have a job or in grad school. And that is just absolutely amazing. And I really do attribute quite a bit of that to the fact that our students have the opportunities for internships. And I think that that's such a big draw for students. And Marist being an hour and a half north of New York City, students love the fact that we are close to a major city like New York, but we're not in it, in that we are in that traditional college campus in a suburban environment. And then 96% of our freshmen who wish to live on campus do. Here's a listing of the different majors that we offer. Some of the very popular majors tend to be fashion design, fashion merchandising. We're 5th in the country, 25th in the world for the program. We are an accredited business school. We have an investment center on campus, so students are trading on Wall Street Monday through Friday with real money. And then what's great too about our close proximity to New York, we have many alumni that work in the city. So we do have a very strong mentorship program that enables students and assists them with not only internship opportunities, but upon graduation with employment. Computer science is also very big. 90% of those students have jobs before they even enter their senior year. Our communications is popular, whether it's advertising, public relations, sports communication. We're very well connected with ESPN. Very big major right now is cybersecurity. We also have a campus in Florence, Italy. So we do offer interior design and art restoration conservation over there, in addition to the fine arts, which would be studio art and art history, as well as fashion design, fashion merchandising. But the interior design and the art restoration are only offered in Florence. And then again, those internships, I cannot stress enough the importance of them. 83% of our students will do at least one internship. My daughter Caitlin did 3 down in New York City, graduated, and within 2 months had a job in advertising. My son was criminal justice. He did 2 internships. One was for the local police department, and then the other was for the ASPCA. The only school that it is required to do that would be for social behavioral sciences. And then study abroad, again, 50% at least study abroad to well over 80 different destinations around the world. And then I did mention our campus in Florence, Italy. It is our campus, and we have about 1,100 students that attend there. We are Division I for sports, 23 varsity, 12 women, 11 men. We have well over 80 different clubs and organizations. Club sports, everything from equestrian to ice hockey to men's and women's rugby. Residential life, amazing. And here's some different
Great.
ways to apply. I've finished my time. So
Yeah, we've hit the 6 minutes.
yep, here's my contact information, and thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Corinne, for presenting on Marist for all of us today. Our next school is going to be the new school.
Hi, everyone. Bear with me. I'm going to start up my screen share here. Awesome. So it is so nice to be with you. My name is Flynn Linehan. I am Assistant Director of Admissions for undergrad programs at the new school. I'm also an alum of the new school as well, and the representative for Southern California. So again, super excited to spend some virtual time with everybody. So I'm going to start just by telling you a little bit about the institution as a whole, and we're going to cover everything from our programs up through the how to apply process. So the new school was founded in 1919, and we are a private university located in the heart of New York City. We're actually right in Greenwich Village, so really in the thick of it, in the heart of everything. The university is actually comprised of 5 colleges, and you can see them all listed here on the screen. And the undergraduate programs that we offer will be housed within 3 of these colleges. That includes Parsons School of Design. Parsons is a world-renowned institution for the study of visual art and design, as well as business. We also have Eugene Lang College of Liberal Arts. So if you are interested in the liberal arts and humanities, as well as the social and natural sciences, and if you're looking for a self-designed, really open curriculum in the liberal arts, then Lang could be a great fit. And then last but not least, we do have our College of Performing Arts. And this is where we have programs for jazz and classical performance, as well as the dramatic arts. It is a conservatory environment, so quite rigorous in that regard. And then last but not least, actually, we also have a campus in Paris that I will highlight today, Parsons Paris, which is the smallest of our colleges with about 300 students studying full-time with us in Europe. So I also like to highlight that this is one university. So there are many opportunities to engage in interdisciplinary learning across these colleges that I highlighted and in these different programs. So if you are multidisciplinary and you really want to explore a wide range of areas, then the new school could be a great place to do that. So we're home to 10,000 students, and about 7,500 of those are undergraduate students. We have students from all 50 states, as well as 116 countries. Our student body is about 30% international, so a very global community at the new school. Here you can actually see all the specific areas of study that we offer across our undergraduate colleges. And we offer a lot of different programs, as you can see, so I won't go into everything. But I do just want to highlight that for Lang, for the Liberal Arts College, you aren't applying directly to one of these areas of study. Whereas for Parsons and for the College of Performing Arts, you are applying direct entry to your programs because they are more specialized and involve a portfolio or an audition process for entry. And then I also want to mention that we do have some dual degree opportunities. Our BA, BFA dual degree options are great for students who want to explore across both the liberal arts and either the visual or performing arts. And we do have some 5-year bachelor master's programs as well. We also offer over 50 minors. This is across the university. So as I mentioned, you can really be very interdisciplinary at the new school. You could be studying fashion design at Parsons and maybe doing a minor in gender studies at Lang. It's so wide ranging, and I'd encourage you to explore the over 50 options that we have available on our website. So right now we are not welcoming visitors to our urban campus, but I would encourage you to check out our virtual tour. It's available on our website. There's a link there on the screen, and I'm happy to pop it in the chat for everybody later on. But this map gives you a sense of our campus, our location, right there in the heart of Greenwich Village. And I will add that we do have on-campus accommodations, dormitories, so definitely check that out. And despite our location in a super big, vibrant city like New York, we do have a really rich campus life. There are lots of ways that you can get involved. That might include joining one of our many student-led clubs and activities on campus. Maybe that's joining an intramural or club sport. We have things like basketball, tennis, cross country, dance. And then of course you're in the heart of the city. So there are a lot of other ways that you can get out and stay active. I also like to highlight the professional development opportunities available. Being in New York, we have great access to internships and most of our students are taking advantage of that. This is just sort of a mapping of the over 1,200 different industry partners that we have where our students have recently interned. This includes places like Marc Jacobs, HBO, the Museum of Modern Art, just to name a few. So here's a little information about our tuition and fees. As I mentioned, we are a private institution. One thing I like to note is that our New York and Paris campuses have different rates of tuition and that tuition varies by program. So definitely check out our website, our financial aid website to see the specific info for your program. And note that room and board is not included. And you can see a kind of average cost for housing on the left of the screen there. And a little over 90% of our freshmen choose to live with us. So of course, we do have financial aid available, both merit and need-based scholarship. Over 80% of our students do receive a scholarship. And of course, we do have that need-based aid for US citizens and permanent residents who file the FAFSA. So these are our basic application requirements. All of this is in great detail on our website. I'll walk through very quickly some of the highlights here. We do use the common application. We ask that students submit one essay, as well as all those basics, those materials that you need to submit for any other application. You can see those all listed. If you're applying to Parsons, you will be required to prepare a portfolio, and you do have an audition process for the Performing Arts College. I will also highlight that we are test optional, and this was true long before COVID, so you can look forward to that when you do apply in the future as well. These are our deadlines to keep in mind.
Thanks,
and then and here's the last slide for you with our social media and email contact. So stay in touch and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Flynn, for presenting on the new school. For all of our attendees and those watching today. We have one more school up to present tonight, today, and it will be the Maine Maritime Academy. Don't forget, attendees, this is a great time to drop some questions in the Q&A. I know representatives would love to share more about their programs and help answer your questions. All right, Kate, let me turn it over to you.
Great, thank you. Well, we're going to take a little trip from New York to Maine today. And so welcome to Maine Maritime Academy. I'm just going to flip through here. What is Maine Maritime Academy? Maine Maritime is a school providing an excellent education with a maritime thread. If you have any interest in maritime studies, be it from operating vessels to ocean studies to the movement of goods, you have come to the right place. We are a small school that has just under 1,000 students in our 23-degree programs, meaning that your classes are small and hands-on. On top of that, we offer 7 professional licensing from engineering to deck licenses if you desire to work out at sea. Our students are engaged with all that we have to offer with over 30 different clubs and organizations to 15 different varsity sports. We are Division III. But what stands Maine Maritime Academy apart from other schools is our access to our waterfront campus, providing students with over 60 different vessels from training to research to pleasure vessels and everything in between. If you like to be on the water, you have found the best playground you could ever imagine. A critical component of the Maine Maritime Academy education is the hands-on experimental learning that our students receive. Whether it's in labs, throughout the summer field experience, students are put in decision-making positions that are going to test their knowledge and ability to provide them with a unique opportunity that is uncommon in the traditional educational setting. This is just a small list of our simulators and labs that our students get to experience during their time. It's pretty amazing. A common misconception about Maine Maritime Academy is that our students are in some way obligated to complete military service after graduation. Unlike the federal service academies, you're thinking Army, Navy, Air Force, the Merchant Marines, or the Coast Guard, only some of our students wear a uniform at Maine Maritime Academy. And none of our graduates, except those who are electing to pursue military service opportunities, are required to serve. What you will see at Maine Maritime Academy is what's called the Regiment of Midshipmen. So nearly 2/3 of our student population are required to be in the regiment. But those students are required to participate in this training program due to the nature of the United States Coast Guard license that they're getting. They're getting the unlimited size, meaning that they could work on any size vessel in any ocean around the world. Any student on our campus can elect to participate in this, but only the students that are getting that unlimited license are required to participate in this. So if that sounds intimidating, believe me, it's not. It's just like every other college and university. We have independent students that gain that traditional college experience, but those students that are in the regiment are getting all the training needed to work out at sea. So we are a lot of work, but we also have a lot of fun. Our students enjoy themselves and participate in clubs and on a variety of student-run organizations, and there's something for everybody at MMA. You can see here the list of varsity athletics that we offer. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we want you to develop into a leader and give you that chance to create it. As our slogan goes, we're all mariners, so we're in it together. So the real value of a Maine Maritime Academy education can be understood through the job opportunities and the career outcomes of our alumni network. This is accomplished through career industry training in our summers with internships, co-ops, and getting aboard our very own 500-foot research training vessel, the state of Maine, or our 88-foot schooner, the schooner Bowdoin, during our summer times. So over 90% of our students are employed in their field of study within 90 days of graduation, which is incredible. But the most impressive statistic about MMA is the return on investment in a student's education. Beginning in Castine, Maine, these are just a few examples of the type of career destinations that take our alumni quite literally anywhere and everywhere around the world. We are in every corner and pocket that you can imagine. So let's take a look at some of our current accolades from MMA. In 2020, we were ranked #2 most transformative college. We're pretty excited about that. And in 2021, so this year, we were ranked #1 best college for veterans, #3 top public school, #4 regional school in the North, and the #10 best valued school in the nation. So we're pretty excited about those, and we can't wait to show you in person what we're all about. So our main contact information is here at the bottom, and please reach out at any time. I am the Associate Director, and if you enjoyed what you heard today, we would love to show you some more. We are offering on campus tours at the moment, so please come join us.
Thank you so much, Kate, for sharing Maine Maritime Academy with everyone. Right now, we have come to the end of the formal part of our presentations, hearing from 5 fantastic schools. We do have a few more minutes that we have to spend with our attendees or those watching at home and want to share a little bit more. So right now, I'd love to invite each of our presenters to turn their cameras back on, come back and join the group. And we're going to answer a few questions here as a group, and hopefully our attendees will think of any last Q&A questions. And also, just a reminder to our panelists too, you can share any information in the chat. So students, if you see a school's information come into the chat, feel free to click on that and copy it and paste it so you have that contact information for later. All right, our first question today is going to be a favorite event or tradition on campus. We're going to go in the same order as the presentation. So we're going to start with Elizabeth from Sarah Lawrence. As the representative ahead of you finishes, just feel free to turn on your microphone and answer the question, and we'll just go through in that order. So Elizabeth?
I think my favorite campus tradition at Sarah Lawrence is in the fall, there's always a screening of The Princess Bride outside on a kind of like big inflatable movie screen. Still happened this fall just with masks, and people, join virtually because Wesley in Princess Bride and Sarah Lawrence alum.
So I would say favorite tradition at Hofstra is our fall festival. It's definitely been one of my favorites since I was a graduate student on campus, and we have an artist come to campus. So we've had, in the past, we had Flo Rida, we've had TLC, we've had Smash Mouth, we've had Kesha. So really cool artists come to campus. We also have it as a family, parent and family weekend. So your family can come back and visit after they've already dropped you off for your first weekend and move-in weekend. And then we also have a large carnival on campus that goes on, and all of our student clubs on campus raise money for different organizations at that carnival. So it's just a really exciting time to kind of get everyone together right after the semester starts.
Hey, and at Marist College, I would say that an event is Family Weekend. A couple of weeks after students begin the semester, we invite their families back to campus to celebrate the students and to take part in riverboat tours. There'll also be dinners and breakfast and just a lot of different opportunities for them to spend time with the family and get to meet other people and enjoy Marist. And traditionally, there's a football game that takes place that particular weekend as well. And then another thing that I think a lot of school spirit, which you can see at our basketball games and football games, that students really love to participate in and cheer on their Marist Red Foxes.
I think I'm up next. I think one tradition that I enjoyed myself as a student was the Parsons Festival. And this is an annual series of art and design events and exhibitions where student work is presented. It's sort of the culmination of the year, and a lot of graduating student work is exhibited. We have, a big fashion show, all sorts of fun stuff like that. So it's always quite celebratory and over a long period, and you kind of get to see all the hard work that our creative students are doing. So one highlight for me.
One of our really unique traditions is the fact that all of our students, freshman students, get to jump off the very back of our 500-foot training vessel right before the first day of classes. And so everybody is in the water together, one at a time, but they're all doing this very unique bonding experience, which is really kind of neat, the ship jump.
Awesome. I love hearing about all these different events and traditions. I hope that everyone who's watching maybe thinks, oh, I want to go check that out on social media or Google it. It's a great way to think, oh, could I see myself, on campus joining in these awesome activities and events. All right, we have time for one more question. So, we are, this is the Western Association Fair, and we are with schools all in New York and Maine. So, these guidance professionals, not guidance counselors, admissions professionals are the pros, and they are here as your resources. So I would love for each of you to share sort of one of your tips for the college search process that might help students and families as they're going through this to make the most of it and to learn about all the great opportunities that are out there, get to know schools, because you guys are just a wealth of wisdom. So we'll go in the same order. So thank you, Elizabeth, for starting us off again.
I think advice I always give students who are going through the college search process is really utilize the resources that you have around you. So that might be your family, it might be your college or guidance counselor, but most importantly, people like us. So the people who know the deadlines and everything that needs to be submitted for any college or university. Hopefully you've seen from attending this webinar or any other webinars, most folks who work in admission actually really do want to help you. So it's a nerve-wracking process, but we really do want to make it as stress-free as possible. So reach out to us for any resources.
My biggest piece of advice would be to don't be afraid to try something new and step outside of your comfort zone. So especially when you're looking at schools to apply to and take a look at schools that you might not have thought of before and really take advantage of those opportunities, because college only happens once and you want to make the most of it, and you will form amazing connections in college. So especially also step out of your comfort zone and try things new, when you are in college as well. Get involved and do as much as you can, because like I said, 4 years is once and 4 years goes fast.
And I too have to agree completely with Elizabeth and Christy. Take a step outside the box, experience something different. It's not a lifetime commitment. There's Four Seasons on the East Coast. I'm actually regionally based in San Diego in the Carlsbad area. But again, I just find it has to be the fit for you, and take advantage of our wonderful resources. And we can connect you with students that could be from the West Coast, so that they can share their transition with you and what it's been like for them to go from the West to the East and to enjoy the Four Seasons. So that's pretty much my advice.
I would say, to kind of piggyback on what Corinne is saying about engaging with students, I think trying to get that current student perspective, if you can, finding the ways that universities make their current students available to you, I think is a really, really great way to get that perspective and see if you see yourself there. For example, we have like drop-ins virtually with our tour guides and student workers. Maybe you want to go to sit in on a class, or really take advantage of that like in-depth connection with the current students is something that I strongly recommend.
Well, I would agree with every statement that's said so far. Keeping those options open, you never know what might be out there. And so if you have any opportunity on any sort of trips, if you're able to take those coming up, try to reroute yourself and drive through all these different campuses, because you never know what you're going to see or what's going to spark an interest. So definitely keep an open mind going into this whole process, because there's a lot of options out there. And as everybody had said, finding the fit that's right for you is really important.
Thank you all so much. I know that these are great tips and advice, and I hope that our attendees and families, anyone who's watching this, knows that asking the questions, building these relationships can make such an impact on your college search process. And really, there's no question that's too small to ask any admissions representative. They know the ins and outs of their schools, and that's what they're here for, and it's what they love the most about their work. Well, we have reached the end of our time together. So first of all, I do want to say thank you to each of these schools representatives. Thank you so much for everything you do for students and families to help them navigate a process that can sometimes seem overwhelming, but can also be so much fun. It makes a big impact. To everyone who's watching, thank you for spending part of your day learning about these great programs. And I hope that you are excited and intrigued and want to reach out, ask more questions, and get to know what each of these fantastic schools has to offer. When you all close your window, there's going to be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions that are being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. In about a week's time, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as recordings for all of the other sessions and panel presentations available for you to watch again, or to watch and learn about new schools. And you can do that at the same website where you registered, strivescan.com/WACAC. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for spending time with us, and best wishes in your college search and decision journey. Thanks again. Good night.